On the list of the worst rules in golf, playing it as it lies when your ball's found in a divot in the fairway, or like we have today when it's caked in mud. So you've hit a lovely drive, you've strolled down the fairway only to find there's mud sitting on one side of the golf ball. The question is, what now? Do we aim in a different spot? Do we try and play a different flight such that we don't do more damage after hitting such a great drive? We advance it up on the green, or at worst, close to the green. Well, that's what I'm going to do today. I've got 3 clean golf balls. I've got 3 where I've put the mud on the left-hand side of the ball, and then 3 where I've put the mud on the right-hand side of the ball. I'm going to hit them all with a 7-iron. My flight intent here is going to be a stock draw, typically in the 20 to 35 foot curve range. So it's going to launch to the right of my target line, which is this red flag out here on the driving range. And we're going to try and put some intelligence, some knowledge, equip you with the knowledge that says, if you face these situations, at minimum, you can anticipate what the outcome is going to be and start to manage it a whole lot better than not knowing. Let me hit these 9 shots, and then we're going to come back and we're going to read the results and equip you with that knowledge. Okay, as I was mentioning, qualitatively, I know from my experience playing golf that when you encounter mud on the ball, it disrupts the normal or intended flight. But we're going to quantify it right now. So I've got TrackMan running back here, and that's going to give us the data in terms of how it launches different, how it curves different, and ultimately equip us with that knowledge that helps us manage it when we face these situations on the golf course. Okay, ball 1, mud on the left-hand side. That's a really good shot. Felt like a stock draw. Took off where it should have, and that's darted out to the right by some, what I would guess to be 80 to 90 feet. Ball 2, mud on the left-hand side. Launched in the same spot, really nice solid strike, and that's gone even further to the right. Had about the same amount of mud, positioned on the exact same side. Mud on the left, ball 3. That's the furthest to the right, I think. Again, in that range of 90 to, well, best guess, 3 fingers, 4 fingers to the right of target there. So 4 fingers to the right at 170 yards. It's probably close to 90 feet. All right, let's transition here into mud on the left. So with that, I'm not going to start to aim for it just yet. In fact, I'm not going to aim for it at all. I'm just going to hit these as if I'm hitting my normal stock draw, 170, 175 yards, 7-iron. Oh my, that's gone 100 feet or more to the left. Came out lower too. So lower trajectory and really hard curve to the left. This one's got a little less mud, so might be a little bit less curvature to the left, but let's see. Little thin, but no, my goodness. That again is just as hard out there to the left. Last ball with the mud on the right-hand side. It's going to curve hard to the left. Oh yeah. That one took off exactly where it should have for a stock draw, 80 feet to the left. I'm going to wipe this club face off real quick. Okay, and I'm back. I'm going to reposition these just a little bit. Okay, we got brand new Titleists. Pro V1s, stock draw intent, 170, 175 yards. Ball is clean now. That's perfect. Maybe a 25-foot draw, launched a couple of degrees right and just fell just left of target line. Clean ball number 2. Just as good. Pretty far too. That may curved a little bit more in the air and may have gone a little further that time. Final ball. Put another good swing on it, Cameron. Yep, just as good. Very nice set of 3 shots, stock draw. Now as I look at those balls out there, I would imagine they're not more than 10 feet apart from each other. 175, maybe a little bit further given how fast they felt like they came off the club face. But let's go to TrackMan and, like I said, quantify such that we're going to equip you with an understanding of how much you need to adjust your aim for a given shot shape coming out of the shotgun barrel that's quite random unless we understand how to adjust for it. Let's go to it. Okay, so here are the results. Let's start with the mud on the left, ball 1. 171 yards in the air, took off pretty hard to the right. That was 104 feet with 80 feet of curve in it. So 100 feet, 33.5 yards to the right of target line. So if I was aiming for that, let's say it was a center pin, most greens 40 feet wide, 50 feet wide, sometimes a little wider than that. I'm going to have to be left of the left bunker with the assumption I don't have any wind off the left to play that one. How similar were balls 2 and 3 in terms of that change in result? 167, 123 feet to the right, and then the final ball with the mud on the left was 78 feet to the right of target line at 165. The launch angle average was 17.4, and I wanted to announce that because when we went to the mud on the right, causing that ball to drop to the left really hard, that launch angle did drop. It came down from 17.4 down to 15. So that ball, as it's moving hard left in the air, it's also diving, which generally, I mean, if you hit a bunch of quack hooks, you'll know it doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the air elevating, it's diving. So curve on the mud on the right, ball 1, 113 feet of curve to the left, then 108 feet of curve to the left, and then 105 feet of curve to the left, all averaging 166 yards of carry distance. So shorter than I wanted because it's dropping out of the air pretty quick as it's moving to the left. And those, let's say, final 3 shots, yeah, ball's clean. 177, 181, and 182. So the workouts I've been doing certainly seem like they're paying off. So I'll keep up with those. You should do the same. But nonetheless, it's going a bit further than I anticipated. But I had 27 feet of curve, 20 feet of curve in that last ball. Nah, I don't think it was 55 feet of curve because it was a really tight draw. But nonetheless, they're all predictable, launching 1.5 degrees to the right and then turning back to the target. So interesting experiment. Don't expect that you would need to do the same, but just understand that there's a massive amount of curve when I'm playing a mid-iron that's opposite to the intent when I'm hitting a stock draw. When the mud is on the left, moving that ball to the right. When the mud's on the right, it's actually amplifying my curve intent. Sometimes players choose to play the opposite curve to try and offset the mud effect, but as you could see, that when the mud was on the left, I was intending to play a draw and that ball still wanted to zoom to the right. So in my opinion, you're swimming upstream there. You're fighting a no-win battle. So rather, the best strategy is to play more rather than less curve in the opposite direction that the mud's sitting on the ball, and just aim off target for where you want that ball to end up. So if the mud's on the right-hand side, the ball's going to curve to the left. You're going to aim substantially out to the right. If the mud's on the left-hand side, the ball's going to curve to the right. You're going to aim substantially out to the left and just play that. And I would say that if we ran the experiment again and we went down the bag to a longer club, that curve is only going to be amplified. And when it's curving hard left with the mud on the right, that ball's going to drop out of the air much quicker. If we went down to a shorter iron, the amount of curve is going to be less, but the direction is still the same. So hopefully this helps you in those circumstances where you faced a bad outcome, mud on the ball, it's not lift clean in place, and you've got to play it as it lies. And until we can get that rule changed, here's to you applying this logic, this golf IQ, if we could call it that, to play better golf. Cheers.